We're back with Austin Mayse. The new album is Bridges and Kerosene, and the song you just heard is called Rattlesnake. I'm gonna lump Bluebonnet into this conversation as well, because those songs sort of work the same way in that you're introducing these animals, these plants, these objects, and really going deep into their characteristics in terms of humanity and human traits in those natural objects. So how do you find a human personality in a rattlesnake or a bluebonnet?
Well, I think that we all look for human characteristics in the world around us. When a puppy does something that a human would do, everybody just falls all over themselves. And when a baby does, we do the same thing, but we realize that they're going to be a full grown human one day, and that they're kind of on the process of doing that stuff. But I think we look around the world and look for familiarities with ourselves and with our kind. And yeah, you can kind of characterize something, but also take the something that has a connotation to it, that at least in Texas, bluebonnets are something that conjure up a very strong image. And so all of these things are things that people feel one way or another about pretty strongly. And then looking for the parallel in them, there's a straight line between any 2 points, and you can find it.
Yeah, how important are things like rattlesnakes and bluebonnets to the Texan identity? Explain that to the New York audience here.
Yeah, well, the bluebonnet itself is a flower that it's our state flower, and it blooms only for about 4 to 6 weeks a year. So the rest of the year, you have all of these state paintings with our flower somewhere, but you can only actually see that for a limited time per year, and it turns the fields absolutely purple. And it's in some pockets of central Texas and other parts of Texas, it's just people will drive, park on the side of the highway, and just sit off and get their bluebonnet pictures taken every year. And so it's a really big deal culturally. And then the western diamondback rattlesnake is pretty much everywhere. Yeah, it's not something that you would see in the city, but it's one of those rugged native animals to the southwest. And we're on the edge of the southwest, and it creeps over a bit, but it'll give you a scare out here when you see one, for sure.
Yeah, what do you think humans can take from these elements of nature?
Well, uh, the rattlesnake is it's a pacifist by nature, and that's what I wanted to get across, was that you can be a pacifist, but you don't have to be a pushover. A rattlesnake, if you're walking around, they recommend walking through places where they live with firm footing, and careful but firm, so that the vibrations will drive them away. They are not looking for conflict. Even sometimes they'll give you a dry bite, which is where they bite you but don't inject any venom, because they'd rather save that for their prey first and foremost. They want to eat. And so they'll avoid a fight, but if they have to, they will, and they can defend themselves with deadly force. And I'm more of a pacifist. I would never want to defend with deadly force, but the concept is there that just because I'm a pacifist doesn't mean you can walk all over me. um and with the eagle and the vulture, a lot of people express surprise that a vulture is hopeful in this song. And I'm like, well, I mean, they hope that they're going to find dinner, whereas you know we're going out and looking for it, and we may not find it. We may get it handed to us, we may stumble across it with luck, but we're out there trying to actively help improve our situation if we can. And there's a lot of people out there who can't go out and fend for themselves and go and look for things on their own. So we need to stick together, and that's something that the wolf represents. Is there's this fierce um independent individualism, um in the American culture, but really we're stronger when we're together. And yeah, we can stand up for ourselves, but sticking together and helping out those who can't is what makes us strong.
Yeah, you have a very collectivist way of looking at the world, sort of the opposite of the Texan stereotype.
Well, I've traveled a lot, and I really do love where I'm from, but it's not perfect. And I don't think that we need to say it is. We don't need to say that our history is perfect, how we originated. But yeah, I can be proud of Texas, but not uh, close-minded to the rest of the world. You know, yeah, my pride is for my homeland. However, I'm gonna my home family, my race is human. It's this globe, you know. And beyond that, we're all interconnected. So yeah, be proud. But I'm not going to go somewhere and say, oh, it's so much better in Texas, because I'm not there to compare everything to Texas. Like, I want to go to New York and not talk about how I have a Reuben that I can get from a guy it's way better than this one. No, I want to experience each place individually, and knowing that they're out there and very different than where I am helps me appreciate where I am too.
I always end the show by asking my guests to pick a song. The only thing is, it can't be by yourself, and it has to follow along with the prompt that I'm going with. So I'm going to say a song that you appreciate as someone who views the world as one whole.
Oh, I would say that there's a song by Walt Wilkins called King for a Day. And it's love who you can love and let the others just be. And they do a wonderful harmony vocals on that. And Walt and that whole Mysticaro crew, which was the band, they were pivotal in all of my growth as a songwriter and as an adult in general. Friends, executive producers, collaborators, musicians, co-singers on different bills, and they invited me to festivals. But that song right there is kind of was kind of an aha moment for me. It's like, love who you can love and let the others just be.
Walt Wilkins, that's solid, solid name to choose. Austin, man, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Hey, yeah, and thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I love New York, and I can't wait to get up there and visit both New Yorks, the city one and the rest of it. Love them both. But you guys stay warm. It's actually ice storm here today, which is very rare for Texas, but y'all stay safe. And I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for listening. Thank you so much for reaching out too. I was walking into the store to get some non-alcoholic beer for an event, and yeah, that message popped up, and it really, I mean, it just puts a whole lot of, it's the whole On My Way premise of that song, is like, it puts wind in our sails and keeps us going through the low times. So thank you so much.
Absolutely, no problem. You earned the reach out. And yeah, based on the weather here and there, I would say you stay warm.
All right, we'll talk to you down the road, man.